Hey everyone, welcome back to Sit Fearlessly. Woo woo! So excited to be back, so excited for all of the new amazing things that we're doing, so excited to be in this energy. And today is like a nice day too.
Oh, good weather, finally.
Yes.
We had a little thawing out because we were under like what, almost a foot of snow, maybe more?
Like the snow has been crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
insane.
But I've been telling everybody that I've been meeting with via Zoom. They always ask me like, "Oh my God, how you been during the snowstorm?" And I'm like, "Great."
Fantastic.
I'm in my house. I don't gotta go nowhere. I'm like, this is exactly where I want to be right now. So for me, it hasn't been that bad, and it actually hasn't snowed like that in a long time.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate it because I feel like, you know, when I was growing up, when I was little, I remember my mom taking us out in the snow. You know, those big snowstorms in the 90s. So I'm like, I appreciate it. I know it gets ugly and disgusting after, you know, but
I mean,
hey.
I'm just like having to shovel all that out.
I know.
That was the one thing, you know.
I know.
But it's okay. It's melting. We're good. We can almost put it behind us. So I'm about to just leave it.
Listen, maybe you should have hit up Mandami because he was giving out $30 an hour for people to shovel snow. Okay?
Right,
like, let me get paid to shovel my own snow in my house.
Snow. Facts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was great though that he did that because, you know, I actually think it helped a lot. I think a lot of people were out
Took that
shoveling.
Initiative, absolutely.
Yes, I think the trucks were out on time. I think, it was definitely cleaned up in ample time.
With all of this snow coming in, they said, I heard something, that we might be getting more snow like this more often. Right. So it might be time for the infrastructure to get a little bit of an upgrade because I saw some places just kind of struggling to deal with all the snow. Lord knows New York doesn't know where to put it. So taking up the few parking spots that we have.
I'm so sorry.
You good? No. You need some water or something?
No, it's okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. Listen, it's part of the show business, right?
That's it. Absolutely.
Thank you, Veg. Shout out to Veg in the building also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, taking BTS. And shout out to Cortez. I didn't properly introduce him today.
Yes.
But also, which I don't want to dive too deep into that, but I did see someone who was studying the snow. And they did find particles of things in the snow. So that maybe was making it more difficult for it to melt.
Yes.
But we'll dive deep into that another day.
Yes,
okay? Because we got a lot to talk about today, guys.
Yes.
Okay?
Tons.
Epstein Files. Like, let's start there.
Okay, well, it's been dominating the news. So it's hard to, you know, I'm not going to go too far into what it is, but we know what it is, right?
Yeah.
This list of people that we've finally gotten around to putting out or whatever and seeing kind of who's been affiliated. There's been photos of people who may have associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And quite a few of them might be some prominent names to the point where one of the White House speakers actually came out and said, if we were to follow through and prosecute those involved, it would essentially lead to an upheaval that's...
It would dismantle our current structure that they have put in place, okay?
Which is scary enough, right? To think that many people may have been involved in certain things.
Incredibly scary, incredibly. And some of the people that were named, some of the companies
absolutely,
that were named on there, like, I don't remember the exact name, but the company that goes into the public schools and takes the pictures.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like that is a huge company that has contracts with schools all over the country.
And you're telling me that they're implicated in something involving sex
Chuck E.
trafficking.
Cheese.
Oh, that was a big one too.
I'm like,
that was a big one too.
What is going on?
Yeah. You know what the craziest part about it is like when you think about it. So somebody tried to kind of, I don't know, to water it down a bit, and they mentioned that, you know, people who flew in and out of his island were oftentimes involved in some of his other dealings, right? Maybe not necessarily the nefarious ones.
Right.
Trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, essentially. Because if you're going to be doing things that are so heinous, you probably have to be doing some other things that are on the brighter side of things.
Yeah.
Balance, I guess, right? Now, they're saying that if he's involved in funding certain projects or, you know, being a philanthropist here and there, that there's a chance that these people weren't involved in some of the more nefarious things.
Right.
But I don't know.
I mean, I think when you're heavily involved with anyone, for example, now we're doing this show.
Exactly.
We're going to be more involved in each other's lives. So there's
Yes.
things we're going to see about each other.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When you see certain things, you can make a choice to like remove yourself from that relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it's business, whatever it is. And it's like, I think that everyone who is stepping down from, which that's another thing that's going on, right?
Yeah.
So many people that are in these files and on this list are being held accountable in other countries.
Yeah.
Except for this country, right? They're stepping down from their positions, but there haven't been any arrests.
I think that goes to show maybe at the level of which some of our leaders have been involved. Like, you know, it's different to be involved as the head of a company, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of move people around, move people out.
Right.
Leading a country is a different story, and that adds a whole other level of wrinkle to it. And we already know that our leader currently has had a myriad of scandal and all sorts of crazy things come out about him or him being involved in things. Even you can like rewind back to a week or two ago and he's probably said something controversial.
Right.
So at this point, I think we may have unfortunately become numb to some of the craziness that
is the conversation, right?
Yeah.
That a lot of people are having is that, is this such a great thing now that all of this is being exposed? Because now that it's being exposed in such a major way and consistently, because that's not the only thing that's coming out, there's so many other things, then now we're going to become numb to hearing about these things, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes and no, because I feel like these things need to be made public.
Well, are they made public and have consequence?
And have consequence, correct.
That's the biggest thing, because it's one thing to like have it out there and we can talk about it until we turn blue. It's just you need to see action behind it. Not only that, but systems to prevent. Because as you mentioned, there's some pretty significant companies that were in, I hate to say this, but really sensitive positions to accomplish whatever they were doing.
Right.
Are there checks, are there balances, are there things that we can do to prevent any type of, you know, some of these dealings?
That's a great question. But also I think that just as these type of people are unifying together and creating this super mega force, our people should do the same, right?
Yes.
Because unfortunately, there's but so much we can do when we're trying to dismantle these regimes, right? But if we unify together just as strongly as they have, and we really educate our folks on what is going on and how we can implement change in our ecosystems, right? Throughout the country, that can make a significant difference. Maybe not an overall overthrowing of the regimes, but it can make a significant difference.
Well, I think the biggest part is that we've allowed people to infiltrate our systems that don't even carry themselves in with the level of dignity. Like I was watching a debate, and I believe it was Kennedy and Nixon. And despite the character of some of the people involved, the debate that they had was different. It was of a different tone. It was of a respectable tone and far removed from what we have in our politics today. It's mud throwing, it's slander. It gets so far away from the point of actually repairing a country, of uplifting a country, uplifting the people and looking out for the people within the country, that you forget that it's even an election. You forget that it's a governing body. You almost feel like it's a reality show just taking place on a larger stage. And as you mentioned, unifying against that, I think the biggest thing that we can do is all hold ourselves to a higher standard in what we demand of each other, and then of course demand of our politicians, of our representatives, of the country, the companies, and all the people involved in our day-to-day decision making.
Right. Absolutely. And even like the people we admire, the people we look up to, right? Because, Nicki Minaj spoke out in defense of Trump. You know what I mean? And it's like, she has her barbs. But barbs, are we holding her accountable if we don't agree?
Here's the funniest thing about that. In her speaking out, it baffles me because she almost alienated one of her largest supporting groups of people.
Yes.
And to that being said is we want to be a country of inclusion, of,
Right.
you know, acceptance. And even if you don't necessarily agree with certain lifestyles, even if you don't agree with certain things, there's a level of respect that comes along with that.
Right.
And positioning yourself with regimes that have been openly against certain things doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
allow for that togetherness.
I agree. And
Yeah.
to piggyback off of that, shout out to Cardi B.
I was going to say, there are
Okay.
other people making a voice and a name
Yes.
and being part of the conversation in a more positive way.
Yes.
And
Shout out to Cardi.
Shout
out
to
to her
Cardi.
tour, Little Miss Drama. And I'm going.
Oh, you're going? Of course you're going.
I'm going next month.
Okay,
So I'm so
okay.
excited. I'm gonna go with my girls, check her out. But she's been killing it.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
You know, people can say whatever they want about her, but I think that when you get to a place in life, and I think she's always been like this, which is what has allowed her to reach this point. She's always been comfortable with
Yeah.
herself and who she is and how she speaks and how she carries herself, you know? So
Yeah.
even like the little mishap she has on stage when she falls down, you know?
It's all part of who she is.
Yes, and then
yeah.
how she makes it so dramatic and theatrical and but relatable to what's
gonna
going
say.
on now. And then she speaks out and she's like, the government did that to me.
There you
Like,
go.
you gotta
right.
love Cardi.
She Cardi's always been charming, and that's
Yes.
kind of, I think, what drew her
Yes.
fan base in. Because, you know, whatever side of hip hop you're on,
Yeah.
she has a fan base that loves her personality.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
something that she can take into different arenas and
Yes.
has successfully.
Yeah. And kudos to her because, and we'll get back to the, you
Yeah.
know, to the ICE discussion with her, but kudos to her
Big
because,
time.
yo, I think she just had her 4th child in October.
Oh, wow.
Turbulent marriage
Yeah. Oh,
that
my gosh,
ended.
that's a whole other
Then went into
thing.
a new relationship,
Yeah.
turbulent relationship
Yeah.
that ended pretty quickly. Just as we
Pretty,
thought they
just
were
as-
like super in love in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. No,
Nope.
they're like not together, and she's still showing up. You know, I just hope and pray that she has her people that love her around her too.
You got to have a good support system
Yes,
there.
because sometimes when you suppress your feelings, that can hurt you in the long run, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I would imagine so, because even if you look back at some of the interactions that she had, even from Love and Hip Hop, I
Yeah.
always think it's hilarious to watch people get their get back moment.
Yes.
Like the people who told you, oh, you was never gonna make it, you're never gonna be this, you don't have anything to do here, da, da,
Yeah.
da. And then now you're on stage receiving, you know, accolades, doing world tours.
Yes.
Like this past summer, she flooded out Harlem, like
Yes.
blocked traffic, everything.
Her
Yeah,
album
the
marketing launch was,
It was
I loved
insane.
it.
And
I
it's
loved
changed
it.
the game, because one of my favorite artists, J. Cole,
Yes.
has now kind of followed suit
Yes.
and bringing
Shout
the
out to J.
marketing
Cole,
back to
yes.
like grassroots. Like if you don't know, he's driving around in his Civic right now.
Right.
It might have had a little bit of car trouble by this point, but he's
Right.
driving around in his Civic right now, actually doing the trunk sales of the album, which is like so
Ooh.
vintage hip hop that, like, you know, you gotta love it. You gotta love
Yeah,
it.
I love that. I want us to have sidebar segment on music
Okay.
and new music
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
soon. Let's do that. But yeah, like, listen, shout out to J. Cole.
Big
Shout
time.
out to I'm J.
Yeah.
Cole fan, so I'm excited
Check
for
out
his
The
new
Fall
music.
Off.
Yes.
Great album.
And shout out to Cardi, man. Just, you know, showing up for herself, showing up
Yes.
for her fans, addressing
Yeah.
current situations that are happening, you know?
Fearlessly.
Fearlessly, okay?
Yeah.
ICE coming in under her comments section, you
Oh,
know?
man, that's a
and
whole
trying to
thing.
break her down, you know,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
coming after her and her past, you know, and things like that, and her rebuttaling, you know? Like, shout out to her, man.
It's so crazy because, like, this ICE thing that's going on,
Yeah.
it's one thing tonally for the nation.
Yeah.
And we've known that there are always going to be pockets of the country that are less than tolerant of other people, nationalities, and ways of life. But to see some of the ways that they're interacting with people, even if you have a job,
Yeah.
right? I understand whatever, if you sympathize with ICE, that's on you. But the way in which I see them carrying it out on video, it's like disgusting. Like to the point where I saw a video where there was a little girl, I guess she had wandered into the street, whatever. Somehow ICE has her. And if I'm not mistaken, they're trying to use this little girl as bait to get the parents to come outside and
It
they're
is
like,
horrible.
And they're like, oh, well, we just want to see your documents. And they're like, well, we can show you those from the door. No, you got to come outside and then we'll give you, you turn this into a hostage negotiation.
Yeah, it is horrible. And, you know, it makes me think about what happened in January 6th at the White House, right? A few years ago, 2020, right? I think that was. He wanted to create chaos. He created chaos January 6th, and now he's doing it with ICE. Because the people that are being hired to work for ICE are not people that have any type of background, type of military background, any type of law enforcement background. So they're kind of going in and they have no proper training.
Yeah.
You know, they're going in based on their belief of this person, this man who they feel like is, you know, whatever. But the point is, there was no proper training behind this, and this is why there's so much chaos.
Yeah.
This is why.
But the chaos itself is also serving its purpose in the sense of keeping us unfocused. Yeah. In other things sliding through Congress, through the House. Because while there was the platforms of this regime to come in and deal with immigration a certain way, one of his biggest things was about voters. Elections, things apparently being stolen. However, he is now taking it a step further and created a new voter act. Yes, the SAVE Act bill. And for you guys who are not familiar with what it is, it's the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, okay? It is a controversial federal bill aimed at tightening voter registration rules by requiring documentary proof of U.S. citizenship, okay? So they're saying you need to have your birth certificate, but not your marriage one. So if you got married and you don't have that old birth certificate, that's invalid. This is the problem, right? Is if you're going to change anything, it's just policy, it's just good practice to make sure that you address how things once were, right? So you have to address other systems involved. Women change their last names when they get married. Now, I mean, I'm gonna put the math out there, but about women outrank men in voting, like they outweigh men in voting in greater numbers, and also lean heavily Democratic. So I think there's something to be said by doing something that now targets a system that literally makes this an inconsistency for their documentation.
Absolutely, it's oppression. We're being oppressed once again. Just how he started dismantling DEI. You know, and now there's a high unemployment rate with Black women.
Big time.
You know, it's just really bad what's going on. But pay attention to some of the news. Try to get the more credible news, guys, but pay attention because a lot of things are happening, and this is causing a lot of people to also look into leaving the U.S. I've been going down a rabbit hole about that. I mean, I've been thinking about it for years. I travel a lot, so I've been looking into it. But definitely, if you feel like that's an option, if you don't like what's going on in this country, definitely look into it because there are opportunities before they start limiting us too. Because that's another thing.
That's another thing too. Like, here's the problem, right? All of this is a slippery slope. So when it comes to elections, and I know that they're making it more and more difficult, stay steadfast in whatever you're trying to do. Make sure you stay involved, do research, try to stay informed, and if you have a platform, utilize your platform, even if it's just to bring attention to something. Make sure that other people stay informed because one thing generally leads to another thing that leads to another thing, all while other stuff is going on. And it's easy to get swept up in the news cycle and kind of lose focus.
Absolutely. And thank you. Thank you for sitting here with me and having these conversations. Because this is something that's long overdue that I've been wanting to make sure that I incorporate on our platforms because it is important to have these conversations. So I appreciate you and your knowledge and everything that's going on. So let's talk a little bit, just a little bit, but it is important about this whole Bill Gates situation that's happening.
So the Food and Drug Administration recently cleared Bill Gates to utilize certain preserving chemicals on produce. Thankfully, you'll be able to see, like he's almost branding it. just be careful about what you consume. Be mindful about what you consume, because as these there's specific RNA compounds in these. So if you have any reservations about, I don't know, any type of medications that you take, reactions, just be aware, because just be aware of what you're putting in your food and what you're putting in your body.
And this has been going on for a long time. Again, we're just now becoming privy to all of this, right? Because social media, right? So everybody's sharing information now. Like, I don't know if this was AI, because I feel like so many things are AI now. But I saw a brief clip of an interview where he's literally blatantly saying, and he as in Bill Gates, saying that, you know, I think they were asking him about how this food is killing humans and things like that. And he literally said, like, humans are not great anyway, so why do we need to continue with humanity?
So there's been people who are like, I don't know, Bill Gates is a controversial figure because of the way he deals with logistics, we'll call it. He's a very big numbers guy. So even when it comes to, like, say, DEI, right? You talked about DEI. When it came to that, and companies were initially able to remove certain things, now that DEI was no longer a governmentally enforced thing, they slashed entire HR departments. They slashed entire things just to make sure the math mathed for them. Now, being aware of how these people think about math, how potentially Bill Gates thinks about math, is also something that you should think about when it comes to dealing with anything that they kind of create.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That said, even down to preserving chemicals, right? Years ago, Monsanto was already involved in a pretty big lawsuit regarding pesticides. And that's the thing, like, a lot of this stuff is not, I know a lot of it seems like doom and gloom, and maybe there is something to be said about neglecting the health of the consumer. But they're gonna mask it as we're allowing our food to last longer. And that stuff is just not the best for people's bodies. Which makes me think
about McDonald's and all those videos that have been surfacing now.
Oh, yeah, the French fries lasted for decades in the back of a car.
This old lady pulled out a whole, like, meal that she preserved from, like, decades ago. And it was still intact.
So somebody said food, especially fruit, produce, is meant to go bad. It's meant to go bad. If you have something that's lasting for years, that might logistically work. It might be, like, beneficial to trying to keep a lot of it around. It's not natural.
It's not natural.
It's not natural.
And we're putting this in our bodies every single day. And I know this to be true because I personally know someone who told me a story where he had put a lot of, you know, sometimes we throw a lot of stuff in our trunk of our car. And part of what he threw in the trunk was, like, a bag of, like, French fries and a hamburger or something like that, a cheeseburger. And he forgot about it. And legit, like, 2 weeks later, when he was cleaning out his trunk, it was intact.
Looked the same.
Guys, be careful.
Be careful.
But I want to talk about this because we're running out of time.
Please, please.
So, and also, shout out to Dominicans, okay? Today is Dominican Independence Day. I'm going to go do my little two-step later. I'll let you know where I'm at if you want to join.
I'll pop out, let's go.
Yes, but shout out to Dominican Independence Day. Shout out to all my Dominicans. I am very proud of my Dominican heritage. Shout out to my dad and my family over there. And yeah, man, it's important to celebrate
Big
that.
You know? There it is. Yeah, my man Veg out there. Yeah. Shout out to the Dominican Republic. Shout out to all my Dominicans. And I know you guys are tuned in, supporting the girl right here. So
yes, thank y'all for sure, for sure. So I'm gonna post some footage of all the fun we're gonna have today.
There we go.
But with that being said, Miss Aysha Diaz.
Ooh.
Okay, she just was recently on the Ian and Rashad Blackout podcast.
Yes.
Okay, and it went viral.
As most of these things go.
As most of these things go, but specifically because she said, if she's dating a man and he asks her not to work, then he must be willing to provide $45 to $50K a month. So my perspective is, if that's what, because she specifically said if he's asking her not to work. So I like that she included that.
Okay.
So my take on it is, if she's making that amount of money already, and that is her lifestyle that she's making for herself, and the person she's with asks her not to work, then maybe that can be fair and valid.
Yeah.
Right?
There's something that's justifiable there.
Yes.
I think that contextually we got to be aware, because I love when people are honest about their own personal experiences,
Right.
but I dislike how on social media somebody might take that in and let that govern themselves,
Yes.
right? So if she's making that, one question that I got to put out there to the fellas, right?
Yeah.
Do you like what your significant other does? Right?
Right.
Because now it's Aysha
That's
Diaz.
the topic.
So
Right.
she's saying that they don't want her to work. That looks different. This is not like she's an accountant. And
Correct.
he's like, nah, babe, don't go to the office.
Right. And then I'm like,
right.
give me $50K, babe.
Right. This is not that. This is she is
month.
she's an influencer. She's out and about. She's on the scene.
Yeah.
Granted, too, her work oftentimes involves her looks and
Yes.
being involved in situations
Yes.
where her looks benefit her.
Exactly.
She's coveted, right,
Yes.
by many of people.
Yeah.
If you are with the person who is that, and you know that, you knew that.
Yeah.
So asking her to change might not be the smoothest transition in the first place.
True. I agree with that.
Now, her asking for $50K, she made a point, right? Because if you go on into the interview, she does mention that she
only
has
have a couple minutes
Oh, I'm
also.
sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
She has expenses like
Yeah.
responsibilities. So it's that. If you
Yeah.
if you're dealing with anybody, men, if you want to be that guy and you're bringing on a woman into your life, you guys should share responsibilities.
Right.
Now, hopefully that means working side by side. But
Yeah.
if you're asking her to not work, you're really telling her to not be a financial contributor to your partnership anyway.
Yeah.
So do with that what you will.
I agree with that. And a lot of people are saying it's unrealistic. It's promoting transactional relationships, which
I'll be honest, most relationships, I'll sound
Are
bad for this,
transactional?
they have a transactional element.
I mean, for the past a decade or so, I would say because of social media, that has become the case a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are dating for money and things like that. So the values and morals are really going down the drain, and we're not looking for partnership in the right way anymore.
Let me ask you this question before
Yeah.
we go. Do you believe in unconditional love in relationships? Romantic relationships?
That's tricky because I'm not going to say unconditional if you keep shitting on me.
Well, see, but that's my thing, right? I think that the condition in romantic relationships are oftentimes, one, you come into it with what I wanted you,
Right.
what attracted me in the first place, and two, you show me love back.
Yeah,
right? The only
exactly.
time that I feel unconditional works is generally
Yeah.
parent-child. Right? The
Right.
child can do no wrong. And
Yeah.
honestly, too, if you're in certain circumstances, neither can the parent.
Yeah.
But if you're choosing to bring somebody into your life,
And on that note, guys, I want you guys to comment, all right, when we post and talk about this. I want you guys to comment what you think about this topic. And also let us know what other topics you want us to talk about, okay?
Yes, yes.
The time went by so fast.
hey, it's cool. That's more time for them to join the
Yes.
conversation.
There you go.
Get in those
Thank
comments.
you guys for watching. This is Sit Fearlessly, and this is the Industry Uncut segment with my boy Cortez.
We here.
Thank you for watching. Follow us on all social platforms. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.
All right, we got some tequila to drink. Come on, let's go.
Yes.
Yes. Celebrating independence.